Research also shows, which will quite interest you and quite shock you, is that when people were surveyed at work globally in 13 countries, they found that 75% of the people, they're not happy in their role.
Sure. 75?
75%.
That's a big number.
3 out of every 4 person,
That's a
fourth
big
person,
number.
that's a big number.
Yeah.
They're just not happy because they're not happy in what they're doing. They didn't feel that, it was meaningful. It was not tapping to their potential.
I am curious, why did this book have to be written?
So Amanda, as I said to you, is that over the 20 years, in sport, academia, and in corporate, one thing I kept on picking up is that people were extremely talented. That was not an issue.
Sure.
But they were not fulfilling their potential or what they wanted to get out of the role or what they sought for themselves. So that's the pattern I just kept on seeing. In sport, someone very talented but just doesn't make it.
Sure.
In academia, top student, you can see they're smart, they ask the right questions, but doesn't correlate to the outcome.
Sure.
Because there's a behavioral component, there's a misalignment. There's a misalignment of who they are and their behaviors and their actions.
Sure.
Same thing in corporate. And it showed that the ones that were happy, the output was much better.
Sure.
The quality of life was better and everything just worked well together.
Sure.
And I said to myself, how do I distill it in 6 keys
Okay.
to unlock what is within people? Because it's within there, it's already there.
Sure.
And the most important thing that is about leaping from who you are to who you can become.
Lovely.
But the underlying element is that you must be able to do it under pressure.
Sure. Welcome to the Leadership Summit of the Year. Yes, this is it. Hello, I am Dr. Mandaj Flaro, and on this week's episode of the SuperLead Podcast series, we are joined by an internationally recognized performance scientist and author of Key Shift, 6 Keys to Unlocking Your Potential, Dr. Nceba Hene. From elite sports to executive boardrooms, Dr. Hene has spent over 2 decades unlocking human potential under pressure. This conversation invites us to rethink performance, not as perfection, but as the right shift at the right moment. Dr. Nceba, welcome to SuperLead Podcast.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manda, and I've been looking forward to sitting down with you
Lovely.
and having a conversation.
Excellent. You know, I'm still not used to being called Dr. Manda. So it's like, right, okay. So I have to kind of adjust a little every now and again when people call me such. So you have written this fantastic book called Key Shifts, 6 Keys to Unlocking Your Potential. Now, we will unpack the shifts on this conversation. But before we get there, we just want to hear about the author. Who is Dr. Nceba?
Dr. Nceba, similar to you, I like to be called Neva.
Okay, so we're going to drop the doctors.
Yeah, I
today.
dropped it.
All right, Paul, we are allowed to drop the doctors. That's good. That was going to be a long conversation.
That's good. I mean,
Cool.
I was born in Matatiela. Matatiela is the border between Eastern Cape, KZN, and Lesotho.
Right.
So I come from different cultures and backgrounds, and I've seen many things. And I grew up in a household. My father was a doctor, and my mother a professional nurse.
Right.
In a home full of buzz, there's 7 of us in the home, and then including myself, that makes it 8. So that's the kind of family we grew up in.
Yeah.
And then I educated my junior school and high school was in Pietermaritzburg. I went to a grade school, primary school named Codwallace, then high school at Michael House,
Okay.
And then after that, I went to the University of Port Elizabeth, which they call it now Nelson Mandela University, where I did my undergrad. My undergrad was BCom in sport. So it's a combination of business
BCom and sport.
Yes.
So 2 undergrads.
Yes.
Oh.
So it's combined one, but you've got electives in business and also in sport. Because I figured that I wanted to keep the sports science component because of my family background.
Say more about the background in sports.
So I played a lot of sport at junior school, and I had a passion for sport. So, and my elder cousin, Thabo, may his soul rest in peace, he did sports science.
Okay.
So he was quite passionate, so I followed him around quite a lot in sport. But you know, when there's someone in your family who's gone through a certain path, you don't want to follow the same path. You're almost saying, look, how do I differentiate myself? How do you create your own identity? Because if I do a BA in sports science, then I'm like him. You know, I'm almost cloning. You know, like I'm a clone. You know, like a miniature. You know, a miniature Thabo. And I said to myself, no, but the business component is quite critical. Because what I'd seen with my dad in his practice, my dad was very successful. He had lots of patience, but he just had this tendency of not charging people. He would say...
He was just doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, just doing the Lord's work. People would come to his practice, but you know, Ngaka, doctor, no, we'll pay you 3 months down the line or 2 months down the line. I then asked my father, hey, that person came, did that person charge you? No, Mtanam, man, you know, this person doesn't have money and, you know, we'll come back one day. And some instances, they would come, you do a consultation, give them medication. The following day, 2 weeks later, they'd bring a chicken, 2 chickens. My dad loved chicken. And I'm like,
they pay with chicken.
I'm like, it's like, you know, this doesn't...
Who needs medical aid?
It doesn't add up, you know. And then other people would come. So my dad was very pro-education. Some people would come to his practice, January around that time, and act as if they're sick. So they would know that, hey, bring the children as if they're sick. And then my dad would ask, so which school does the child go to? No, Ngaka, you know, doctor, we don't have money. And then my dad would phone the principal and say, no, don't worry, I'll also pay for you. So I was like, no, I've got to get my business side right. So that was the inspiration from that perspective.
But he must have been a generous human being.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, very much so. And as a result, they called him the people's doctor.
Oh, lovely.
Because, you know, it just had this warmth towards people.
Stunning.
And what also made him good and great is that he was intergenerational.
Okay.
So I always said the special people, it's about being able to bridge generations and being able to bridge races and being able to bridge cultures.
Lovely.
Those are the people that are truly, truly special. And I mean, I'll give a typical example, Amanda, is that you look at Michael Jackson.
Right.
Cuts across all ages.
Sure.
Everybody loves him. I mean, you go to the cinemas now. It's the parents, the whole family.
Yeah, of course.
All right. I mean, like I took my daughter and my wife went to watch Michael Jackson. It's one movie where all of us were left happy. You know, the other movies I'm like sleeping. And then there's comics. I'm like, no, I can't do this. So
I've come around with the kiddies movies. I speak the language now.
You know, so then I then from that perspective, I then did Biokinetics.
Right.
So then with Biokinetics, it's about preventative.
Okay.
Again, I could see a lot of people who are just becoming ill because of disease of lifestyle. You know, smoking too much, overeating. And I thought to myself, look, I could reverse this. Because again, I've seen a lot of people in my dad's practice coming, they're overweight and they've got strokes. So when I asked my parents, my mom and my dad, what's the story here? No. So what did you tell the person? No, they must eat less sugar.
And move more.
And I thought to myself, okay, if I could prevent this, maybe I can make some money, you know, you know, or make a living out of it. And then That's what I did, my Biokinetics from that perspective. Then after that, I went into the sporting field.
Right.
So my life has got, I always say there's three parts to my life.
Yes.
There's the sport.
Okay.
I then spent a lot of time with national teams.
Right.
And then there's the academia perspective, whereby I'm an extraordinary lecturer at the University of Pretoria. I also lectured at UWC, at Tshwane University of Technology. And then there's the corporate side, where I've worked for a number of corporates in a different number of roles.
And then we are going to combine all these three worlds and distill the key shifts to unlocking one's potential.
Correct.
I am curious, why did this book have to be written?
So, Manu, as I said to you, is that over the 20 years, in sport, academia, and in corporate, one thing I kept on picking up is that people were extremely talented. That was not an issue.
Sure.
But they were not fulfilling their potential or what they wanted to get out of the role or what they sought for themselves. So that's the pattern I just kept on seeing. In sport, someone very talented, but just doesn't make it.
Sure.
In academia, top student, you can see they're smart, they ask the right questions, but doesn't correlate to the outcome.
Sure.
Because there's a behavioral component, there's a misalignment. There's a misalignment of who they are and their behaviors and their actions.
Sure.
Same thing in corporate. And then research also shows, which will quite interest you and quite shock you, is that when people were surveyed at work globally, in 13 countries, they found that 75% of the people, they're not happy in their role.
Sure. 75.
75%.
That's a big number.
3 out of every 4 person,
That's a
fourth
big
person,
number.
that's a big number.
Yeah.
They're just not happy because they're not happy in what they're doing. They didn't feel that it was meaningful. It was not tapping to their potential. And it showed that the ones that were happy, the output was much better.
Sure.
Just the quality of life was better, and everything just worked well together.
Sure.
And I said to myself, how do I distill it in 6 keys to unlock what is within people? Because it's within there, it's already there.
Sure.
And the most important thing that is about leaping from who you are to who you can become.
Lovely.
But the underlying element is that you must be able to do it under pressure.
Sure.
And the fundamental difference between good and great people, whether sport, whether in business, whether in life, or in any relationship, is being able to do things under pressure.
Lovely. So now let's go in, before we just go through the 6 points. Let me just understand the world of sports. And you said you spent a lot of time with national team. What did that look like?
So I did my Biokinetics honors then I moved to the Sports Science Institute, so where I worked with a number of athletes. But then my true involvement started in a rugby club called Langa Rugby Football Club.
Right.
In that rugby club, and a gentleman called Mr. Puzi is now retired. So we worked a number of athletes. I had an opportunity, and I found an athlete called Jongikaya Nokwe.
Right.
Jongikaya Nokwe, I then trained him. He was injured. I worked with him for like 2 to 3 years. And what happened is that he ended up becoming a Springbok rugby player.
Right. Okay.
And he was the first person to score 4 tries against Australia in Ellis Park. So that, for me, I thought to myself, there's something there.
Yeah.
And then also, whilst we were playing those matches, we then picked up another player called Mzwandile Stick, who's currently now the assistant coach for the Springboks.
Yes.
Mr. Puzi and I said, listen, man, you got something special. And then I then went with them to Kenya with Paul True and everybody else for a sevens tournament in Kenya called the Safari Sevens. Based on that work that I'd done, women's rugby was just emerging in South Africa.
Right.
So then I became the first strength and conditioning coach for women's rugby.
Lovely.
So I worked with them, with the ladies for a number of years, like 6 to 8 years.
Yeah.
In that period, we then went to 2 World Cups in Canada.
Lovely, man.
And also Dubai for the sevens. In sevens, it culminated in us getting a bronze medal, Sevens World Cup. Then also in doing so, I then also spent time with the netball team, the senior netball team, the SPAR netball team. That's what they were called at that time.
Sure.
So I did strength and conditioning for them. from the perspective. And then I've also worked in different blocks with a number of other sporting codes from that perspective.
Sure. No, incredible. And then
From the perspective. And then I've also worked in different blocks with a number of other sporting codes from that perspective.
Sure. No, incredible.
Also worked in different blocks with a number of other sporting codes from that perspective.
Sure. No, incredible.
Also worked in different blocks with a number of other sporting codes from that perspective. Also worked in different blocks with a from that perspective. Also worked in different blocks with a from that perspective. And the fourth years. And there I was bringing in the corporate mindset.
Okay.
Because I'll give an example is that there's a module that elective I was lecturing for the third years. It's called National Strength and Conditioning Qualification. It's based in the States.
Right.
Prior to my arrival, for 2 to 3 to 4 years, no one had passed that exam.
Sure.
Because it's quite a difficult exam. It's intense. You start writing it from 9 o'clock until like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
But why?
So, that is strength. It's like an American, it's like a leveler. If you're a strength and conditioning coach and you've got an NSCSA, then you're the real deal.
Right.
You're
But like, why
certified
you have to write for so long?
Because again, it's about concentration. How do you focus? Because those are things, sport is margins of error are small. So you got to be saying, listen, how do you producing? Remember I said under pressure.
Yes.
It's about pressure.
Yeah.
You're putting the person under the litmus test. They'd never passed. So I then came there with a different mindset, a corporate mindset and a sporting mindset. I said to the guys, listen, we're going to work hard. And then they started complaining. They went to the dean and to the professor, to the head of department, Professor Yvonne Paul. And I said, listen, this guy is unreasonable.
Okay.
I said, look, it's okay. I can be reasonable and you fail. I can be unreasonable and succeed because now you're working. The trick in sport, on anything, is to work at a higher level than that you needed to perform.
Right.
So when you're training, you must train at a higher intensity than the actual match.
Okay.
So that even if you drop 5 to 10 percentage, you're in that zone.
Sure.
So that's what they couldn't understand.
Okay.
So after that, during that year, we produced 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
3.
Okay. Out of
10.
Okay, good.
Remember, over the last 5 years, no one had
been
passed.
0. Wow,
0.
wow.
Now 3 all of a sudden.
Lovely,
so it was
lovely.
so that was from and then what I then moved to with my PhD. I did my PhD at the University of Pretoria. Yeah. So whereby I'm an extraordinary lecturer, I do corporate wellness. So my focus is like around corporate wellness, preventative medicine, preventative health.
Sure.
From that, so I'm an extraordinary lecturer there.
Lovely.
And also I sit in an advisory board from that perspective.
Lovely.
For the High Performance Center.
Oh, excellent. I think we need like more episodes here because now I want to go into sports. Mpo plays a lot of netball as well. We can just like unpack what she must do. But should we go into the keys?
Okay, let me go to the corporate component.
Okay, let's do that.
Adds into that corporate component. Yeah. Then in corporate, I do loyalty and rewards. That's my specialty.
Oh, very good.
Now that's behavioral science, right?
Lovely.
How do you get someone to do more and want more? And then you talk about principles around instant gratification and all those, and delayed gratification, because that's a different story. In life, people want instant, but the people who are able to delay gratification tend to be much more successful.
Sure.
Now, we've done that, and I've had the fortune that in my corporate that I'm at now, we've won 2 international awards.
Right.
In Dubai, one for the best loyalty campaign.
Sure.
And then also the best loyalty team globally.
Sure.
So again, it talks about that leadership part. How do you get the best out of people from that perspective?
Okay. I just love how all 3 they integrate beautifully. I'm intrigued though by the strengthening and the conditioning and all of that stuff. I think, anyway, so let's get into the keys. The first key is the learner mindset. You say that growth begins when we shift from knowing to learning.
Yes.
What say you there?
So what is important, you must always have curiosity over ego.
Okay.
So that is quite critical.
Okay.
You must have a learner mindset. There are people who you must not be a know-it-all, but you must become a learn-it-all.
Sure.
Why that is quite important, Manda, is that anybody and any person is a teacher.
Yes.
And you got to learn from them and to seek to understand what is the different angle. Because then it enriches you as an individual.
Sure.
So, and I've seen it all the time. The people that are willing to listen and learn and understand another perspective, it just gives them an extra weapon.
Sure.
It gives them a different dimension and a different point of view. And that says every situation is teachable.
Sure.
Everywhere you walk about, tell yourself, what can I learn? Not what am I coming to teach people. What can I learn? And that enriches you from that perspective. And then also to say to yourself, how much do I impart knowledge to individuals? Because where I found is that the people who learn the best are the people who are willing to share their knowledge. Because it's a refinement, right? You are refining yourself. You're refining yourself each time. And therefore, having that learner mindset is quite important from that perspective.
Excellent. I find, as some people sort of rise in leadership positions, more and more people are kind of sort of say, hey, I want to learn from you, mentor us, coach us. And, sometimes they lose the opportunity to be the learner in these roles. Sometimes they're structured such that, they're the ones doing all the teaching and the sharing and the mentoring.
Yes, because it's quite interesting what you say that, because I've always said mentorship or coaching is a one way. Because let's assume the person you're coaching is probably 10 years younger than you, for all terms and purposes. There's things that the person who's 10 years, one generation less, can teach you more.
Of course.
Technology and how to see things. And you're also learning.
That generation.
Yeah, what generation? What do you like? What gets you up into bed? Because in that leadership role, 9 out of 10 times you have to solve for that generation.
That's good.
So it keeps you really attached to that generation. That makes you intergenerational, as I was speaking about. And then what you are doing yourself, it's about wisdom.
Okay.
With time, you're just wiser. You're just saying to the person, listen, I've walked this path. These are the minefields. And that is what it is. And this is what you can learn from that mindset.
Sure.
And just another story around a learner mindset that
Yes.
actually really opened my eyes. When I was young, my dad brought someone from the street called Gogo Nsulo.
Okay.
She had a mental challenges. She lived with us for 5 years. Every single day, Manda, she read the newspaper. Every single day. Wow. And she'd tell us what she's learned, what her views are. And she'd even say, let me write a letter to the president, and start writing to the president to tell him what is my views. And then say, never go and post it. Obviously, I never posted because... Then I said to myself, my goodness, here is the person with a teachable spirit. And my dad would sit there and listen to this. I said to my father,
What's going
on here? He says, listen, Neva, do you realize this lady has read the whole newspaper? And it's taken her an hour to 2 hours, especially the Sunday Times. What she has done, she's downloaded it to me in 30 minutes.
I see.
I said, okay.
I see.
All right. There's something like a learner mindset. Someone can teach you something.
Sure.
And you can use someone else to learn more.
Sure. Lovely. I like this. And I'm just wondering, in sports as well, how did you sort of see some of these learner mindsets sort of separate the players that make it and those that don't?
Difference. An athlete that's got a learner mindset. Simple. You play a game, you win or lose. The Monday, the athlete will ask you, why didn't you put me in the team? Okay. Or how did I perform?
Okay.
All right? An athlete that wants to be successful comes with the mindset to say, look, this is how I saw the game. How did you see the game?
Wow. Okay.
Coach, I saw it this manner. What did you see in what I didn't see in the game? So now you're expanding your knowledge. And then there's also quite an interesting story, which one of the coaches recite between themselves and Cristiano Ronaldo. So Cristiano Ronaldo scores 3 goals in a match. So he walks into the coach's office and he says, listen, I want to watch this game. So the coach thinks, oh, well, this gentleman wants to see the goals, you know, and the goals and all those kind of things, you know. And he says, no. I don't want to see the goals. I want to see my movement throughout the match. And I want to see why did I miss the 3 to 4 other opportunities that I had.
Wow. Okay.
And that is having a learner mindset.
Sure. Oh, lovely. The second shift is opportunities in obstacles. Many people see obstacles as evidence that they should stop. You have a different view.
Yes. So I always say people must see obstacles as a signpost, not as a wall.
Right.
In other words, it's a sign that you must turn left or right, or sometimes you just have to run through the wall.
Yeah.
And I've seen this, and in all my own personal life, is that before I told you a glorious story about how everything of my life seems to work well, right?
Yeah, and nicely integrated.
Yeah, how nicely integrated. But what I omitted, deliberately, is that when I finished at Michael House, I went to the University of the Western Cape to study there.
Ah, okay.
To study pharmacy.
Wow.
Because to study pharmacy, because remember, my parents have got a medical. So I thought, no, it's a nice shortcut. I can make, I can do well. There, man, I failed. I didn't succeed.
The course
I can come up with different reasons why I didn't succeed, which they're valid, which are all in the book.
Yeah.
But the essence of it, I failed. Now, what that taught me, University of the Western Cape has got a rich tapestry.
Okay.
Interfused. Now I'm coming from a background of Michael House, which has got a certain paradox, all right? Now you've come into a different culture. So it actually taught me how to deal with people, how to integrate with people, and so forth.
Yeah.
So that was quite important in where I would end up.
Yeah. I'm curious about this Michael House and the structure, and then this just a little bit more detail there.
So if you look at it, Michael House comes from an environment of the haves.
I see.
All right. Now, just to illustrate the story, is that when I moved from Michael House, I go to the University of the Western Cape. My first week, Manda, there's a strike. Hey, you, I said to myself, I've never seen this in my life. Oh no, what is the story? What's happening here? Jeez, there must be some issues. So I tap someone and I said, guys, what's happening here?
Okay.
I said, no, Neva, man, this is unfair. You know, the fees, they're making us pay fees, the registration fees. And I said, so how much are you complaining about?
Yeah.
No, they want us to pay 350 rand.
Yes.
I said, 350 rand?
I can pay for you.
In that time, my dad had given me 12,000 rand. I was calculating, I can give a couple of people, let's get into class. Now, because the strike and there's a lot of upheaval and all those kind of things, so they closed the res down.
Yes.
So then it forced me to go and stay with my aunt in Langa.
Right.
City.
Yes.
Now imagine I come from quite a nice, questionable background. Now I'm staying in Langa.
All right.
Now at night you can hear the music from the tavern. You can't sleep. For once or twice you hear a shotgun. Now, what that did to me is that a couple of years down the line, remember now, I then lectured at University of the Western Cape.
Right.
The player that I found, Jongekaya Noko, I found him in Langa.
Oh, wow.
Can you see obstacles within opportunities within obstacles?
Sure. Wow. And just how the dots connect in a beautiful way. Oh, love that illustration. Now, can we go into the third one, which is learning from failure, which almost sort of links to this one.
Correct.
You describe failure as information.
Yes.
Say more.
You know, Manda, failure is a data point.
Sure.
It's not your identity.
That's a big one.
Because most of us think if I'm failed, I'm a failure. That's my identity. People see me, I'm actually failure. It's actually just a data point of what went wrong and how do you learn from it. A nice illustration to just give an example is that, remember now, I told another beautiful story about me being involved in women's rugby, how we got a bronze medal.
Yes.
What I've omitted there.
On purpose, again.
Yeah, yes, on purpose. What I omitted there, Manda, is that we went to the World Cup with the women's rugby team, 15s, to Canada in 2006.
Okay.
So there were 12 teams there, Manda, up to 10, 1 to 12. Manda, we lost all games.
Yo.
We lost 6 games. Big scores. I'm too
Embarrassed.
In case you want to search the players we were playing at that time. We lost, man. And the commentator said, hey, no, this team is so good at singing. Like before a match, you are singing.
Yeah.
They said, hey, but this, you guys, you thought you were coming to a singing competition. That's why your vocal cords were so good, but your playing, your preparation lacked something. Jeez. That for me hit me at the heart because now I've gone to disgrace South Africa at a global stage in Canada. For 3 years, 2009 was the 7th World Cup was coming. Jeez, man, I've never worked so hard.
Wow.
With the athletes, we worked so hard. I went to visit their homes. I went to visit each of the players' homes.
Sure.
I sat with their parents, and I said to the parents, "You've got a special child. This child can becoming something great. They can make a name and put your family name in the history books." And I said, "Okay, so Tini."
Yeah.
I said, another thing. We are giving them money. We are giving them money, and this money is a lot of money. It can even help you at home.
Sure.
I said, "Mama, here's my phone number. If anything, please call me if you need anything."
Sure.
The parents were the first ones to wake up the players.
Oh, wow.
Wake up, man. Hey, you hear my...
Yes,
wake up, the challenges.
Stunning.
And when I said to the athlete, when they slack off, I said, "No, don't worry. You can slack off. I'll speak to your mother." You can see the acceleration and everything and the intensity. Because one thing, man, you got to learn in life.
Yeah.
No man or if I say to you something bad about your mother, hey, you jump over this screen. You'll jump over this table. You even forget the cameras here. So once you touch that button, then you're onto something. Mm-hmm. We worked hard. Manda, we got a bronze medal.
Lovely, man. Lovely.
Now,
from losing all 6 games.
And coming number 3.
Sure.
Now, what it does here, and now there the learnings from failure is, because this is about pressure. It's about the ability to withhold the pressure. So, we're in this game. We're about to warm up in front of a crowd of 50,000 people.
Sure.
And I can see the players, they are shaking. You can see the pressure. I call them. Because I'm in love with Michael Jackson. So everything just ties up.
I can tell.
So I say to the players, because I'd also gone and I bought a DVD on Michael Jackson, so I used to watch in the buses. I said, "Can you see this crowd?" And they said, "Yes." And they're like, "So what?" I said, "Listen, what would Michael Jackson do in the front of a crowd like this?"
Wow.
They said, "We dance, we perform."
Yes.
I said, "Let's go and perform."
Oh, lovely, man.
So again, it's learning from the past.
Sure.
And how to mitigate certain things and being able to ask the right questions at the right time.
Oh, lovely. Maybe because people still have to buy the book. We don't have to finish all the keys, right? Maybe let's go just the last one on health and wellness. So you've worked in the intersection of corporate and academia and as well as in sports. And we have this conversation all the time. Just the cost of burnout and all the things that comes with not leading well. What say you on this 5th shift of health and wellness?
I want to say, Manda, is that health is the foundation. And you don't want to spend your later life, trying to buy back your health.
Sure.
You make a lot of money, and then in the latter part, you're trying to get your health back. That's the worst thing. And if your health is poor, you can't function optimally. You can't unlock what truly exists within yourself as an individual. And my PhD surrounds around health and wellness. So I then did a research on the financial services industry in South Africa. And there, number of employees overweight, highly stressed, not eating well, not physically active. And now you could actually see that the people that were ascending to the top were not necessarily the people that had the greatest potential. It's the people who were able to just stay that longer.
Sure.
So a typical example is that you and I, we enter the corporate at the same time. All right? All things equal, we move on. The fundamental difference is that you're not looking after your health. I'm looking after my health. 15 years down the line, you start having health conditions.
Sure.
Which result in a stroke, which may result in a heart attack. I'm fully functional. Who's going to get the leadership role?
Sure.
I am, by the virtues that I can still function optimally.
Yeah.
So, and that is what people don't realize, is that if you maintain your health, you spend much time in corporate, and you're able to perform at a higher level consistently, and you're not having bleeps. Again, I did some research. When the pressure increases in organizations, and there's retrenchments and all those kind of things, the first thing that happens is the health suffers.
Sure.
Mental stress, highly stressed. If you're physically active, you can manage your stress better.
Okay.
If you're not active, the blood pressure increases. Remember, by age, the blood pressure will increase, but now there's the pressure in the environment. The blood pressure hits, now you have to have medication. Now, what blood pressure does, then it will lead to two things. Either a stroke, or a heart attack.
Sure.
Now, and that's what you're finding, that because it's the resultant of that. Because what has happened now is that on the system, you've added this pure word, pressure.
Yes.
Now the blood must pump harder, and the body is not used to working that hard, and therefore that's when you have your strokes.
I see. Okay.
Now you're unable to sustain it. And then that's what you've got to do that. And when I worked in corporate, I then said to one of the corporates I worked, I said, how much do you really care about your employees? They said, no, we like them. I said,
they are greatest asset.
Greatest asset. And then I asked the individual, okay, when you speak to your staff, what is the first thing he says? How are you? I said, but now how can you ask a person how they are when you're not giving them the support, the wellness support? It can't happen. And I always said, last thing, and it was a discussion with one of the top CEOs in one of the banks. I said, there's something quite interesting I find, is that you've got a Porsche. He says, yes, proudly I've got a Porsche. I said, okay, fine. I said, you know what's quite interesting? You service your Porsche, you have to take your service after 1,000 kilometers. It's standard. I mean, when you buy, I think it's probably moved to 2,000 now. It's standard that when you buy a new car, brand new from the box, after 1,000, you must go and take it to the garage to check it. 1,000.
Sure.
Excess of R1,000,000, 1,000. But I said, when was the last time you went to do a medical check on you, a wellness? Sure. No, about 5 years ago.
Jeez.
I said, which means you actually put a high premium on your car than in actually your body.
That's tough to hear.
And that's what we're doing.
But the thing with health is these decisions, they don't have like what to eat now, whether to go to gym tomorrow, whether to sleep early, sleep longer. So when you violate them, there's no immediate effect. You don't see the results now. Correct. If I choose to eat, something that's not good for me.
Yes. So earlier on, I talked about two things, about instant gratification and delayed gratification. All of us are chasing for instant gratification because what the unhealthy habits do. I mean, if you drink a soda drink, what happens? Your energy levels spike. So they get you through there. The day, the moment. It's like, you know what, I get it through. It keeps on spiking, but in the long run, it's got an impact on your health, right? If you eat junk food, you just feel good. You know, there's a sense like the endorphins are released, you're feeling good and so forth. So that is, it's quite nice. I also make this mistake. I'm thinking, no, if I go and exercise, I'm going to spend an hour and a half also the travel. No, man, this hour could be finished. I could have covered a lot of emails.
Of course. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now, what happened to me, now, what happens, life has got a way of humbling all of us.
Yeah.
Nceba, who's a person who's an expert in wellness, now I suffered the same issue.
Sure.
So what transpires that whilst I'm studying for my PhD, I was working. So I'd wake up in the morning at 3 o'clock, then I'd study from like 3 to 6 in the morning, quick shower, drive to the office, work, 5 o'clock, come back, spend time with the family and the wife. At 7 o'clock, I'd study from like 8 to like 11 o'clock. So that was So that was my thing.
Your rhythm.
Yeah, so, and I was drinking a lot of soft drinks so that keep me the energy and anything to boost my energy. Sweets, I had a packet of sweets, everything. So just to pump me up.
And this is the wellness expert.
Yeah, this is the wellness expert. And I'm not going to exercise because it's delaying my time to get...
to work. To research wellness.
To research. No, I can't. One day, I'm going to a so-called important meeting. I'm putting my tie there and then I sneeze. I fell on the floor. Back spasms. Called my wife. Hey, she says, what's happening? She thought I was dying. She says, I said, no, my back. Spasms. I said, just let me lie down. And I lied down for like 5 minutes. And I got up. I said, I'm going to this meeting. And I went to the cow train, got into Sandton. I was walking 90 degrees like this.
Okay.
Pain. Sure. Got through the pain meeting. I can't even remember what the meeting was about. But I was happy that I was present. Didn't contribute, but I was just to be seen.
Yeah, they backed you present.
I was present. I phoned my wife. I said, hey, I can't drive. Come and get me. Sure. I went to the physio. They did their magic. Professor Martin Schwalners was my supervisor. I was able to get a consultation. And then for 7 days, I spent lying on my back. I wasn't supposed to do anything.
Whoa.
Now I said to myself, geez, this is where it's caught up to me.
Sure.
So it catches up to you.
Sure. So it might not show up now, but it's building. It's building.
Catches up.
It's building. And then I imagine you learned from that. And I wonder what your rhythms look like now.
No, but my rhythm is different now. First of all, one thing I've learned, there's nothing more important than sleeping.
Ish, now. Mpo, can we get a different podcast guest here?
Because sleeping is the time where your body recovers and it repairs itself and it rests.
Sure. Okay.
So that is quite important. So that's the one thing that I've obsessed about, that I just need to get quality sleep. It's one area that I'm not good at, but I've obsessed on that. Quality sleep, trying to put the cell phone away, all those elements that you just get a good quality of sleep. All of a sudden, when you get a good quality of sleep, I'm able then to wake up in the morning and exercise.
Right.
Because then now, otherwise, if you have because the energy levels are not there to exercise. So then what I do a body weight regime. I stretch, do push-ups, like just functional training. Because
this is after waking up?
After waking up.
Oh, okay.
So I functional before, I pray first in the morning, meditate for like 15 minutes or so, I pray. Then I'll do my stretching routine, my lunges, squats, push-ups, and so forth.
That's hard work stuff.
And then I make sure that I have a good breakfast.
Okay.
So there's two things I like to have a bowl of oats, no sugar, from that perspective, because what happens, the nice thing with oats is that it keeps your energy levels sustainable over time. Or if I see that I'm a bit rushed, I'll then have future life. I'll have future life. Then make sure that my lunch is quite a good lunch, and then I will have dinner early. So I like to have dinner around 7 o'clock.
Sure.
That's my dinner time. That's the latest.
Sure.
Then in between, what we'll do is that 3 times, the wife and I, So we always have a period called me time between 6 and 7.
Okay.
So what we'll do is that it's about catching up. It's our we time, we catch up. So what we'll do, also take a walk or a run during that period so that we engage.
Lovely.
And that's the basics, right?
I see.
It's nothing fancy. It's nothing difficult. It's things that you said, no, actually, I can do that. And then the most important thing, just watch what you eat.
This is the harder one.
Watch what you eat, and just be careful on in doing so.
Sure. Oh wow, we've reached the top of the hour. What a fascinating conversation. Where can people find the book? Where can they access you? What else might they kind of reach out to you for?
So you can get my book through either my website, www.ncebahene.com.
Okay, so we'll put that on the show notes so that
you can get it there, or you can get it through Amazon.
Okay.
So if you send a copy via my website, I also happily sign it.
Lovely,
and then
lovely. Mine is signed too. Mine is signed right here.
Then I'll send it to you. Then also as part of that, I also offer services. Keynote addresses.
Lovely.
So I do a number of keynotes, I also do workshops on high performance, how to get the best out of what I call the corporate athlete. How to get to corporates, how do people perform optimally, how do they unlock their potential, and so forth. So I run workshops, either 4 hours or a full day workshop in that regard.
Excellent. Okay, this question we can bring it up, but I'm curious, how do we develop some of these shifts to help our young kids kind of grow up with these shifts? For instance, the learner mindset and kind of all these aspects that you pull in here.
So, great question. And I'm about to do some work with one of the junior schools and high schools in this regard. And I always say there's 2 elements to it. Children are great observers.
Right.
First, you need to embody what you're teaching your child.
This is difficult.
So that's the first thing. Like it's anything in life. You can't say to your child, hey, ungaseli, and you are drinking. Hey, you mustn't smoke. Because most people learn by seeing.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So that's the first component. And then also, under what I've done in the book, under each key, I've given a framework.
Lovely.
So under learner mindset, it's there's an acronym called a key which says learn. Okay, so in other words, you must look, observe. So you teach your child to be very observant.
Very good. Very good.
All right. And then the E for learn is to engage.
Good.
Engage with people and seek that. And then A is also assess what you've learned around that. And then R is to reflect on it, on what you've learned. And then N is nurture, which means you must teach everybody.
Oh, lovely,
so I've broken it down frameworks.
Out of each
one.
of the
For around the opportunities about hunt.
Oh, lovely.
And then under key 3 is around fail. Key 4, it's around about aims. And I like aims because it also pushes. Aims is about assess, intervene, monitor, and bring specificity to it.
Stunning. Oh, wow, Doctor. And now I'm going back to calling you Doctor. Dr. Nceba Hene, thank you so very much for your insights, for the work that you've done for the nation and the academic world and in corporate, and also for taking time to write this book. And lastly, to spending time here with us in studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Amanda. And I trust and my hope is that whatever we've discussed, it must just bring a key shift in people's lives. And key shift is about moving from who you are and who you can become.
No, the shift has been ignited in me already by just hearing all these insights from your book. So thank you so very much, and all the best with the book tour.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. We have our good doctor in studio, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-hoo!